Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about socializing, restaurants, and traveling, and some tips I want to give you guys on how to manage some of the situations that might come up in this process when it comes to socializing and just kind of being out of your element with this plan. Because a lot of times when you're following a plan, it seems so easy to follow when you're in your normal routine and doing your normal thing, but the minute something kind of unplanned or out of the ordinary comes up, it can feel a bit confusing or, just a bit nerve-wracking to manage, given that you're not really able to follow the plan as expected. So I want to alleviate some of that anxiety for you guys, tell you some tips that I use and how to manage things that come up, and also how to just enjoy life while you're doing this process, because sometimes you are just going to let go and enjoy a little bit, and that's okay. That doesn't mean your progress is going anywhere. That just means that you're enjoying your life while doing this process, and that is what I want for you guys to learn as a coach as well. So we're going to start with socializing. And what I mean by this is like weekend socializing, going out to, events, going to friends' houses, gatherings, whatever it might be, holidays, and how to manage socializing when you are counting calories or trying to lose weight and working out and everything like that. So first things first, my tip for everything in life will always be never go too long without eating. Before you go to a social event at someone's house, for example, my biggest advice to you is do not go hungry. Do not go hungry to any event where there's going to be unlimited amounts of food, a buffet, party where there's like food and meals and everything like that. Do not go hungry. Have a snack or a small meal 30 minutes to an hour before you go, because I promise you that will allow you to make much better decisions, clear-minded decisions, than if you go hungry and you just see all the food and you're like, I want all of it. I'm just gonna have all of it. I'm never gonna have it again. It's here. You don't wanna be in that headspace when you're put in a situation like that. So biggest thing that's gonna help you, I swear, to manage almost every social event is just not going super hungry so that you feel in control and your willpower is much higher. That being said, when you get there, absolutely okay to enjoy some things here and there. Find one or two things that you really wanna have and enjoy it, especially on the dessert table. Like the foods are a lot easier. There's always usually some sort of like salads or, some dishes that will definitely fit into your, weight loss and calorie goals. When it comes to the dessert table, pick one thing or one or two things to enjoy, and that's it. Enjoy it, no problem. Sometimes social events aren't supposed to be as strict as other days. That being said, that can't be every single day, but on special events, sometimes just let yourself enjoy some things that are coming up. And as long as you're not too hungry, you're more likely not to overdo the eating in general when you're at that event. My second tip for socializing is if it's an event where you're bringing something, if it's like a potluck or someone's bringing dishes, bring a dish that you would feel good about eating. So if you're going to an event, for instance, bring a fruit salad or bring a salad or bring any sort of dish. You can even bring like a cheese board or something that you feel like you could actually fit into your goals and eat. So in case there aren't things there that might fit into your goals, you brought something that you would feel good about eating. That always has helped me just to make sure I have something comfortable. And most people usually like that you do that as well, because a lot of people also want that healthy option wherever they're going. So that's my two best ways to manage socializing. Now we're going to talk about restaurants, going out to eat at restaurants. This is probably one of the harder places when it comes to calorie counting, because restaurants, even though they might report the amount of calories in their dishes, they are usually pretty off. I'll say if you're going to a restaurant and they actually do report their calories, add 1 to 200, because most of the times they are underreported, or depending on the serving size that day or whatever it is, they can be a bit off. That being said, a lot of times before I go to a restaurant, if I'm unfamiliar with it, I'll look up the menu before I go and just scan it to see what are some good options for me here. So when I get to the restaurant, I know like, okay, these are a few things I could select from that might be a good fit for me. And I always try to err away from dishes that are like just based carb dishes, like pasta dishes, are things I would usually try to lean a little bit more towards a protein dish or a vegetable dish. So for example, choosing like a salmon with vegetables, or choosing like a chicken dish, or choosing, for instance, I'm trying like a salad with, chicken on it, or something like a nice good salad. Those are things I would usually lean towards at restaurants and try to avoid just all carb dishes, because those can really, really throw you over on your calorie goals, especially if you're really counting. So same goes for restaurants. Like socializing, do not go hungry to a restaurant, because you will literally, like, they'll bring the chips out in front of you at the Mexican restaurant and you will be like all at it because you're so hungry. But if you come having already eaten a snack or something, I promise you, you're much more likely to be able to be like, nope, I'm gonna just wait till my food comes, or just have a few chips, enjoy it, and wait till the food comes and eat that. So more likely to make better decisions that way as well. Okay, last one is traveling. So traveling is, there's two parts to this. When you're traveling, you don't need to be super strict. I always tell people, like, when you're going on a trip and you want to enjoy the trip, like, enjoy the trip. You know, you don't need to be dieting every single day of your life. And if you are, you know, going on a really good diet for 8 months, you know, you're working out, you're eating pretty healthy, counting calories, like, it's okay to go 1 week on a trip and not do that. It's not going to mess up your progress. Nothing's going to go away. And you probably will actually come back feeling much more refreshed, having given yourself that flexibility to enjoy foods and enjoy the trip, than if you were on the trip trying to calorie count, then feeling guilty because it didn't work and you ate too much or whatever it is. So usually when people go on trips, I'm like, go on the trip, enjoy the trip, make healthier decisions where you can. And if there's something you really want to enjoy that's a specialty item, enjoy it. And then when you come back, just get right back on track. No harm in it, no problem. And you know, if you can get active on the trip, go on walks, hikes, things like that, swim, go for it. Only helps. If you are looking to track when you're on a trip, or you're looking to go to restaurants, whatever it might be, there's two things I usually like to tell people. If you're going on a trip where you're going to be hiking or doing some activities where you might need snacks around, take pre-made snacks for you. Whenever I go on a road trip, I always pack a bunch of snacks with me so I don't have to stop at like gas stations and pick up things that are probably going to throw me really, really off and just not make me feel super good about sitting in a car for 15 hours. So I'll take things like almonds, I'll take, you know, some pretzels, cheese, I'll take popcorn, some snacks that just feel like they definitely fit into my goals. So that way, at least I start the trip right and I can take them hiking with me if I'm going hiking as well. The second thing is, if you're going to restaurants when you're traveling, sometimes if you want something like quick, it's good to go to a restaurant where you actually know the calories that the restaurant has. So places like Subway or Chipotle, all their information's available. A lot of places have this. Every once in a while, like, I'll pick a place like that so I can actually, you know, stick to my goals and my calories and I know what they have, so that later on I can kind of be a little bit more flexible throughout the day or for dinner with my meal. So those are definitely some ways I handle traveling. Also, drinking while you're traveling can be one that can kind of throw you off a little bit. So just making sure that you kind of balance the drinking so that you don't feel so bloated or so crappy kind of after. And we talked a little bit about alcohol and weight fluctuations in the weight and scale fluctuation module earlier. But guys, those are just some really quick tips that I do when I am socializing, going to restaurants, traveling, that just help me feel more balanced, because a lot of those events are supposed to be enjoyed. They're not supposed to be super rigid. And the whole point of learning your own nutrition is finding a way to make it more balanced so that you can keep the weight off for good. It's never supposed to be a thing where you lose all the weight and then if one thing goes off, it gains back. It's supposed to be finding a way to balance all the things that happen in your life consistently for the rest of your life. So those events are things I do try to enjoy and not really feel guilty about. I just come back home and get right back on track. And that's how I want you to think about it. Like, enjoy it, make the best choices you can in the situation you're in, and then just come home and get right back on track and you're good to go. Hope that helped you guys. If you have any questions or any other suggestions that you do or have worked for you, please do share. And if you guys have any questions, you know where to find me.